It is day 2. And today here in York, Pennsylvania, the best of the best individually will come out here for the second day of the MAC Swimming Championships here in 2019. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Moore and welcome to Session 2, Day 2 of the MAC Swimming Championships. Last night we had 4 big events in finals, which also saw Albright University come big on the scoreboard for men's. They also set the 200-yard medley record and really set the tempo for the men's. They swept both competitions yesterday, as well in the 800 freestyle, the 800-yard freestyle relay. And yesterday, Stevenson, they won the 200-yard women's medley, while Messiah took home the 800-yard freestyle. So for today's events, we'll have the women's 500-yard freestyle. Again, this is all preliminaries. We'll have the finals tonight. But one person to look in particular, Megan Hupp, the defending 2-time champion in this competition. She looks to take it home for a 3rd year in a row. Timing-wise, preliminary, she has 11 seconds over everyone else in her qualification time. Obviously, again, these are all prelims, but she ran a 5:09.56. The next closest time is by Molly Miller of FDU Forum with a 5:20.68. And by the way, for FDU, for women's, this is their one and only lone swimmer and event that they're doing in these solos. Molly Miller will have the 6th heat in the lane right next to Megan Hupp for heat 6 of this preliminary. And again, it's the only lone FDU woman swimming in today's 500-yard freestyle, and in fact, any of the women's events that we hold solely here today in York. So again, the women's 500-yard freestyle will be our first event. Then we will go to the men's 500-yard freestyle for the preliminary. Then we'll get to event 7, which will be the women's 200-yard IM, in which defending champion Jill Bujanowski will try to defend her title as well. Bujanowski, a junior out of Widener. She has a 2:10.68 that is 5 seconds faster than Kaylee Hollenbach. Hollenbach, a 2:15.18. So then that'll head us to the men's 200-yard IM. Now, TJ Dalton, he is in heat 4 of this. He won this event, or I should say rather, he won the 400-yard IM last year. Dalton, a junior, looking to win his first ever 200-yard IM, and would love to set the tone. He has the fastest time by over 7 seconds. You have Zach Bondurant that has a 2:01.51, which is the 2nd fastest time. Then we'll head to event 9. The women's 50-yard freestyle. That will have 8 heats. Casey Cotton, who we talked about a little bit yesterday, of Messiah. Cotton won this event back in 2017. She looks to seek her first one in 2 years, and looks to be a factor for Messiah, who's been off to a pretty solid start, a 2nd and a 1st in their first 2 events. And then we'll head to event 10, the final one of the preliminaries here this morning. It'll be the men's 50-yard freestyle, in which a new winner, well, actually, I apologize, not a new winner, rather a returning winner out of Aaron Green will try to defend his. Aaron Green as well, he will be in lane 4. He ran a 20.47, the only one to break the 20-second bracket. And the next closest time was a 21.90, and that was by Dan Weeks of Kings. So you should expect a pretty interesting, if I'd say so, 50-yard, freestyle. Things will get underway in about 5 minutes or so, but let's take a look at the standings coming into today. We kind of talked about it a little bit with Albright. So first for the men's, Albright right now, they sit in first place with 74 points after sweeping yesterday. Arcadia, who finished second in the 800 freestyle, they sit with 72 in a very solid second place. You then have to go 10 points back, 12 off the lead. Kings sits in third with 62. Messiah in fourth with 58. Widener with 56. Wilkes with 52. Hood has 42. Lycoming in eighth right now with 40. FDU Florham with 34. Meze Cordia, which we now officially know which team was disqualified yesterday. Meze Cordia was the team that was disqualified in the 800-yard freestyle relay. Meze Cordia sits right now in 10th with 30, and Lebanon Valley, they sit in 11th with 28. Now let's take a look at the women's standings coming into today. Messiah, as mentioned, they were the favorites to win. They right now have 74 points and own a 10-point lead over second place Stevenson. Stevenson, they surprised Messiah in the opening event, winning that 200-yard medley. Stevenson was 64. They sit 10 points back. Arcadia sits in third with 58 points. You have Kings as well. Matter of fact, it's a four-way tie for third. Kings has 58, Meze Cordia has 58, and Widener all with 58. Then back to seventh, 10 points more even back with 48 points. You have Albright. You have Lycoming with 46. They sit in eighth. Wilkes with 34. Lebanon Valley with 28. That puts them in 10th. 11th. Matter of fact, a tie for 11th in last place. FDU, Florham, and Hood, they both have 22 points, which sets us up here for the preliminaries. So in this opening heat, we'll have in about 3 minutes. There will be 3 women out there in the pool. Gianna Rito of FDU, and I actually apologize, we'll have 2 women from FDU representing in this competition, but this is the only time we will see FDU in the competitions. You have Gianna Rito, the freshman out of FDU. She put up a 6:29.49 in her qualification time. Bianca Wargo, 6:14.47. She is the favorite to win this heat. But again, from what we saw yesterday, it was actually not the fastest times that went on to win, but rather the second fastest time in the first heats, which should be relatively interesting because if that trend does continue, well, Sheila Whitman could be the favorite to win this opening heat, as the sophomore out of Lycoming has a 6:24.01. And I'll tell you again, this MAC championship swimming event here in York, Pennsylvania, it brings the best out of these swimmers. Again, we saw yesterday Albright setting the 200-yard medley record, which was incredibly fast, doing a good job. They beat it by just under a second. It was about 9/10. And obviously, I would assume with the way we set the tone, because each team in those 4 events were not that far off of the record pace, all of them within, I believe, 2 seconds or so. I would say this is going to be interesting for today's events. I'm sure you may have a chance at seeing a potential MAC and also championship records broken. And obviously, again, these are all preliminaries, but this all would set up for the finals tonight, and it should be relatively interesting when we do get these finals, because you're going to see the best swimmers out there, and you're going to see a lot of close competitive racing in the pool. So the clock's now hits about 10 a.m. Should be getting going about a minute or so. The three will step up to the pool here for the preliminaries. Again, we talked about them, Rito, Wargo, and Whitman. Rito in lane 3, again of FDU. Lane 4 is Wargo. And Whitman of Lycoming will be in lane 5. It's also to note, Rito and Wargo, 2 freshmen. The sophomore is Whitman, who again, if going by the trend of the first heats, could potentially be the favorite to win this one. But we will see how it goes. Again, the fastest time was set by Wargo with a 6:14.47 here of the Heat 1 potentials. Now, the fastest time overall, Megan Hupp, a 5:09.56. That's a full almost second and a half faster than the slowest time, as that will get them up on top. And here we go. They get set, and we are underway for the 500-yard freestyle. Pulling out to an early lead is Wargo, but right now neck and neck, they all are. They will flip back around for the first 25 yards. Again, you know, we saw yesterday how hard it was to go through 200 yards individually. You got to imagine 500 yards only gets harder. But right now, Wargo showing why she put up a pretty solid 6:14.47. She owns about a 3 or 4 second lead as of the moment. It is neck and neck in second between Rito and Whitman. They'll hit again. They will now come around for the 100th yard. They will have 400 yards to go. Wargo a commanding lead as of the moment, but again, anything can happen. We saw yesterday a wonderful comeback that ended up resulting in a crazy victory, at least in the aspect of the first heat. FDU dominated and ended up getting ran down the end of the 800-yard freestyle by Hood, and Hood, I mean, separated by about a second and a half, ended up winning it after they were down by a full 25-plus yards. And I'll tell you, the energy level here today to start out in the preliminaries looks very, very solid. They're working now towards yard 175. They will get to the end. They will flip back around. Referees making sure that they touch the board. Now we are at yard 200, but it is Wargo who has a commanding lead here in the preliminary to start. 2:16.27 when she last touched. Will come down. Wargo will touch again. She'll flip back around. Looking to make it halfway. And now we are officially halfway here in the opening heat. Wargo continuing to lead. She is doing a great job. In second right now in the far lane in lane 5, Whitman still just barely holds second. I'd say about maybe a second half or two over a hard pushing Gianna Rito. It's about a 15-yard lead say half of the distance here of this 25-yard pool for Wargo. She'll flip around now. We're at the 300 mark. 200 more yards to go. Wargo still chugging ahead. Her lead intensifies now. It's about 18 to 19 yards. Whitman is neck and neck still with Rito. Rito, who looked like she lost a little bit of ground, has made it back up there throughout that transition. We'll touch and flip back around. Looks like the distance slightly cut down there in that transition of Wargo as Whitman cut down the distance a little bit. But obviously, you got to wonder if how tired they are. They're 350 yards in. They're looking to make it 400. See, they've now for the 15th time came through. Again, we talked about it, you know, it's so hard to do 200 yards by yourself. We're talking about 500. That's double the distance plus an extra 100. But here we go. We will have 4 more times for Wargo, who has stretched that lead out. The gap has intensified as well. Whitman about a good 3 seconds or so over Rito. The distance is about 23 yards in differential between Wargo and Whitman. I'll tell you, going up the far side of the pool, it seems like Rito is a lot faster than Whitman, but when they come back through the transition, Whitman is faster. They'll ring the bell to get the excitement level going. But it is more than likely going to be Wargo with the way it's looking. Wargo closing up on a 25-plus yard lead. She'll come back around. They all meet ends just shy of dead center of the pool. It is still neck and neck for second. But Wargo will win it here in Heat 1 of the 500. Whitman still holding on to second for the moment. Whitman now touches, coming second here in Heat 1. And now Rito touches. The time for Wargo well faster than her pre-preliminary. A 5:53.59. Wargo was a 6:14.47 in qualification. And I'll tell you what, that 5:53 would easily have moved her up within that second heat as well. A very solid time out of Wargo. And, you know, time-wise, too, it wasn't as bad. You had Rito 6:11 and also a 6:09 for Whitman. So now they get back on the board. We're here with the second preliminary. In lane 1, you have Madison Beckmeyer as we are underway. In lane 2, Faith Guzzo. Bailey Hurt in lane 3. Juliana Finelli in lane 4. Ella Sobek in lane 5. Mandy Smith in lane 6. And in lane 7, Amanda Waldo. Out here in the early portion, it's lane 3 as of the moment. Bailey Hurt. Hurt a 5:58.48. The fastest one in this heat was a 5:56.56 of Juliana Finelli, who is in lane 4. But right now, Hurt is out to a pretty solid commanding lead, about 3 seconds over Finelli. Finelli is also neck and neck with Sobek as they flip back around. They work now towards their 100th yard, setting a pretty solid pace here in this early portion. But as they touch back for the 100th, it's Hurt who still has the lead and is trying to expand the distance. Looks like a little bit more separation between Sobek and Finelli as well. Finelli right now sits in second, but trying to close the gap. Finelli has some momentum. They'll flip back around. trying to complete now 150. Hurt with a clear lead. Finelli's been ran down for the moment. Sobek in second. Hurt with about a 5-second lead now. Sobek and Finelli are still neck and neck for second. Coming back towards the middle portion. Now they will now get to 200 yards here when they touch. Tell you what, this would be a big preliminary here for Finelli. She can get it done. Finelli's made a statement here to start out. That is 100% for sure. Is the Meze Cordia freshman. It's the freshman's obviously first time in the MAC Swimming Championships. And thus far, pretty solid. She's well ahead of her pace that she set in the qualification times. Again, a 5:58. She is well ahead of that right now. And she has about a 15-yard or so lead. Make it actually a little bit less, 13 yards. And right now, still in second is Sobek. In third would be Finelli. Hurt still continuing to push on. It's still neck and neck between Finelli and Sobek. Sobek still barely out in front. In fourth as of the moment is Faith Guzzo as well, who has put on some momentum here towards the middle portion of this event. They now touch for the 13th time on the far end. And it's 20 times back and forth. They get ready to flip back around. The lead continuing to expand here for Bailey Hurt. Hurt, a junior out of Stevenson, has really done a good job. The favorite to win this preliminary was Juliana Finelli, the freshman out of Meze Cordia. But right now, she trails just barely to Sobek in third. Come back around. And I'll tell you, this is a very solid pace. A very, very solid pace out of Bailey Hurt. Only 3 more times here in the 500 for Hurt here in the preliminary. Again, this is heat 2. We have 6 heats in this opening preliminary here this morning for the women's 500-yard freestyle. But the fastest time as of the moment, coming to the final lap, is Bailey Hurt. She's going to have the fastest time. She is crushing it as of the moment. She is doing an excellent job. As they come to the end here, Hurt coming across the middle towards the mid portion of the pool. Hurt will win it of Stevenson. Set a very good time, 5:42.92. In second, in lane 2, is Guzzo. I believe third will be Sobek and fourth Finelli. They're still getting in the final times of the 7. And I'll tell you what, again, we said Hurt put up a pretty solid time. And she did such a 5:42, well faster than her preliminary qualification, 5:58.48. say that's a pretty solid pace that she ran. Again, in second was Guzzo with a 5:51. They get on top here, and we are now ready for Heat 3. Getting right into it, we're going to see a lot of Widener swimmers here in this heat. Allie Reed, Tori Freeling, Gina Mecca, as well as Shara Scaramuzio. Reed will be in lane 1. You have Freeling in lane 2, Mecca in lane 3. You have Kaylee Kerensky, a junior of Kings, in lane 4. Marissa Kirkendall in lane 5. Mentioned Shara Scaramuzzo with lane 6. And Jacqueline Molnar in lane 7 of Kings. And Reb R. Donahue in lane 8, the senior of Lycoming. They already come now. They're working on the 100th yard in this Heat 3. And right now, just barely with the lead is Freeling over Reed. But it looks like Reed has it coming back up towards the far side. They will now work towards yard 150. I'll tell you, there's a lot of cheerleaders on the coaching sideline as well. They're really trying to get their swimmers going. But now the lead has become clear as day, and it's actually 2. In lane 3 and lane 5, that right now is Mecca and Kirkendall, who come out to the lead as of the moment. Looked like lane 2 and 3 was pulling out, but lane 2 is pulled back out of Freeling. Widener still putting up as a whole pretty solid pace with their 4 swimmers as they come through the middle portion of the pool, looking to complete their second 100th yard. In lane 5, you have Kirkendall, who will own the lead for the moment. But now it looks like getting the lead back as they come up is Freeling. So a lot of lead changes back and forth. These swimmers are all neck and neck. There's no one really separated from each other. And again, these times were all relatively even. The fastest was a 5:43. The slowest time was a 5:56 from Reb Donahue. But back in the lead is Freeling. Freeling had control initially, had lost it, but she's put some pep in her stride, that's for sure. Just under halfway now as they get to the 250 mark. And it's still, as of the moment, a lead for Freeling. I'll tell you on the far end as well, I believe pushing is Reb Donahue, challenging the lead. Donahue looks like she may have a chance of pulling it out as well. She sits right now at second. Let's see when they get there. Donahue now setting a pretty solid pace. It's about dead even when they touch, but I believe Freeling has it as of the moment. Freeling and Donahue both setting a pretty solid pace. Donahue, who trailed to start by, it was a short distance, but Donahue was essentially in last, has now really pushed forward as they continue to move forward here in this preliminary, and Donahue has the lead. Donahue touches and they'll flip back around. It's still about neck and neck, but Freeling and Donahue are still battling for the lead, and Donahue about a stride and a half up in front. They go down, tell Donahue to flip back around, and when they touch, they will come back for the final time, as they are now 450 yards in, just about. Donahue of Lycoming, the only Lycoming swimmer in this. But I'll tell you what, Freeling's trying to answer right back. It is essentially neck and neck. It's going to come down to these final 25 yards. They'll come back around. Will it be Donahue or Freeling? Donahue looks well out in front. A very solid transition. Donahue, just a short distance to go, will win. In second will be Freeling. I'll tell you, that was pretty close for third. I think it was lane 7 of Molnar. We'll find out the final times here in just a moment. But Donahue indeed is your winner with Freeling in second. The battle for third, was between 4 swimmers, neck and neck. And I believe third indeed actually went to Kirkendall, with Molnar in fourth. So the swimmers will come out of the pool. That's only heat 3 though. We are now getting ready for heat 4 of 6. In heat 4 you'll have Maddie Werndl of Albright, a freshman. Allison Kraft of Albright, who's also a freshman. Eva Patridge is there underway, of Widener, a senior. You have Partridge of Widener, Angelina Francescini of Widener, a freshman in lane 4. Alyssa Desposito, the senior, out of Arcadia, in lane 5. Rebecca Brown, the junior, out of Arcadia, in lane 6. You have Danielle Sheed, the freshman, out of Arcadia, in lane 7. Arcadia owns lanes 5 through 7. And then Maggie Yount of Meze Cordia, a sophomore, in lane 8. They work for the 100th yard. Right now, it's led, as of the moment, by Francescini. Francescini of Widener setting the pace here early. It's also notable, actually, Allison Kraft not in the pool. So 7 swimmers as of the moment here in this event. But it is a commanding lead here in the early portion for the Widener swimmer. As a matter of fact, the 2 Widener swimmers within the top 3, but the Widener swimmer, Angelina Francescini, with the lead as of the moment. She ran a 5:17:39 in qualification time. The next closest was Desposito with a 5:23. The slowest time was a 5:43, and that was Maggie Yount. Yount right now battling for third, putting up a pretty good time as they continue to move around. They now come for their 9th lap. About to become halfway as they flip back around. When they touch, it'll be halfway, but I'll tell you what, it's a new challenger for the lead. Desposito neck and neck as of the moment with Francescini. Desposito is coming to life. Desposito, a 5:23:28, again the second fastest time. They still have a long way to go, but now Desposito looks to have gained the lead. The first lead change here of this event, or I should say rather of the heat. We saw as most as 4 lead changes back in the earlier prelim, I believe heat 2. But it continues to be neck and neck here. In a close third as of the moment as well is Eva Partridge. Partridge has made some momentum on this lead as well. It's about a 3-man race or 3-woman race as of the moment. But out in front is Desposito. They'll flip back around. They'll come for the 15th time in this 25-yard swimming facility. Franceschini looks to have actually gotten the lead back. We will see. But nope, back on the transition. As of the moment, Desposito barely have it, but Franceschini neck and neck. They fight back. Now Franceschini back out in front. And Franceschini has it on the trade-off on the pushback. It looks like it's going to be a 2-man race here coming to the end. You have Partridge, who has a very commanding third. But they will come around 3 more times up and down this pool. But after losing the lead and getting it back, Franceschini looks to take the win here in Heat 4 of 6. She is pulling far ahead. Falling back as of the moment is Desposito, but does Desposito have a little bit left in her to push back? The freshman Widener looking to set the fastest time of the day. She will win it. So Franceschini first. Second will be Desposito. Partridge in third. In fourth will be Maggie Yount. Fifth will be Danielle Sheed. And in sixth, I believe, will be Maddie Werndl of Albright. So we get ready now for Heat 5 of the preliminaries. This is your order as they get set, and we're underway. So in lane 1, you have Veronica Bennett. In lane 2, Molly Martin. Lane 3, Emma Reistel. Lane 4, Nancy Ziegler. Lane 5, Britta Heath. Lane 6, Kaylee Allen. Lane 7, Izzy Ramsland. And lane 8, Caroline Patterson. And it is neck and neck, but it looks like lane 7 prevailing at the moment, and that's Izzy Rasland. But a slow transition cost Rasland there on the flip back around, and it looks like the lead is going to go to Molly Martin. Martin, right now as of the moment, the leader, but again, a slower transition this time. We'll go for a third lead change here in this early portion. And now it's lane 4, Nancy Ziegler with the lead just barely over lane 3, Emma Reistel. Ziegler now with the lead, pushing forward. Ziegler coming out of Messiah. You know how big this is for Messiah. Again, 5 straight championships here of the MAC Swimming Championship, looking for their 6th in a row. As well as for men's of Albright, 7 of their last 8, looking to make it 8 of their last 9. But right now, a pretty solid lead for Nancy Ziegler. She continues to extend it over second place, Emma Rydell. In third place is Britta Heath. And it is neck and neck for about fourth or so. Actually, looks like now gaining third place is Izzy Ramsland. Ramsland actually trying to make some ground here on second. For the moment, in the lead continues to be Ziegler. But again, we saw a lot of pushing towards the end. It is very hard as they get ready now to flip back around to get to halfway here of this women's 500-yard freestyle. Working on yard 250. It is very hard once you get past that 300-yard mark. Obviously, the fatigue will probably kick in around that 200-yard mark, but it becomes very hard to remain consistent. But if you have the strive and push, you will be out ahead. And right now, not missing a single beat is Nancy Ziegler. Ziegler, it's about a quarter of the pool now with the lead. Heath looks to have second for the second, but now it's neck and neck. Just barely in front is Heath. Now pushing ahead is Rydell, and they continue to battle back and forth here for second in this preliminary. Another challenger coming in. We talked about her a little bit, Izzy Ramsland, who had an early lead. She's starting to come back here into the picture for second. It's about a three-man race for that positioning here in Heat 5. Ziegler, though, in a place of her own. She continues to extend the lead. She will touch the end of the pool and come back around for the 15th time. It'll be 5 laps back and forth for these women as a very good tempo has been set. The only far distances in lane 8, Caroline Patterson is the only one really far out of reach. Everyone else is neck and neck, it seems, for positioning. And obviously the lead right now getting bigger for Ziegler, but I'll tell you, this battle for second is close as can be. Man, that was almost dead even between Ramsland and Heath. Gotta wonder here who's gonna get second. 3 more times they will touch the ends of the pool. And right now, Nancy Ziegler in control. She's well on pace for the fastest time of the day. And she is looking very strong. Still in second as of the moment is Izzy Ramsland. Just over Rydell. Here we go for the final time. 25 yards to go. Ziegler will come across the middle of the pool and no one will be there to challenge her. She will come to the end. It'll be Ziegler who will finish. In second will be Ramsland. In third will be Heath, or Rydell rather. Well, actually, I apologize, it's Heath. Rydell in fourth. And they'll finish out the last as Patterson finishing her final lap. But a big win for Ziegler here in this heat. Ziegler again doing a very good job. A 5:10.43. Ziegler beat her time by about 1.5 seconds of the preliminary. So Heath, actually we got the official scoring by 100th of a second, and that's the difference. Ramsland over Heath for second and third, and we told you that was neck and neck. Well, reaching out there in that last second, what looked to be Ramsland being far ahead, wasn't really that far ahead. Heath just touched by 100th of a second after, but nonetheless a good solid top 3 in timing. And we're underway for the final heat here of the women's 500-yard freestyle. Megan Hupp in lane 4. She's the defending 2-time champion of this event. She won it back in 2017 and 2018 as the junior looks for her 3rd consecutive win, and right now she has a very early lead just out in front of Bailey Barbarski, a teammate of Hupp out of Arcadia. And while we have the chance, why don't we go over the lanes for you here. Christina Tugua, the junior out of Widener, is in lane 1. Mary T. Mikulski in lane 2, the freshman out of Meze Cordia. The junior Babarski in lane 3 out of Arcadia. Hupp, the junior out of Arcadia, the defending 2-time champion in lane 4. Molly Miller, the FDU swimmer, the sophomore, she's in lane 5. She set the 2nd fastest preliminary time for this event coming into today. Hannah Redding is in lane 6, the freshman at Kings. Morgan Williams in lane 7, the senior out of Widener. And Sarah Wolf rounds out the 8. As right now, it is still an early lead, but it's neck and neck between Hupp and Babarski. Hupp comes back around. It's about a stroke and a half or so. But I'll tell you, these two teammates are pushing each other as hard as they can. They obviously came in the same class and have a pretty special bond, if I'd say, as they try to push here in this final heat to come away with the victor. It looks like as of the moment, Babarski pushes ahead, Hupp barely behind, but we still have 250 yards left to go. Hupp now out to a pretty commanding lead. Or Babarski rather out to a pretty commanding lead. Hupp in 2nd. I'll tell you what, these two are setting an incredible pace. There's about a 8-yard difference between them and 3rd place. 3rd place as of the moment is in lane 2, and that's Mary T. Mikulski. And that's a far, far difference. Maybe it's a little bit more than 8 yards. It's neck and neck for 4th as well, as you have a good battle here, left and right. Should apologize here. Let's make that right. Hupp has the lead. In lane 5, Molly Miller of FDU, neck and neck. It's a little bit hard to see lane 1. But it's actually Tugua who is in lane 1. The heavy crowd here today, good showing. But it is the top 2 swimmers that are facing neck and neck rather. Hupp will come to 3 more laps. And I'll tell you again, it was Miller who took the lead. So our apologies there. We thought it was Babarski. It was Miller who was given a good challenge. But as of the moment, Hupp with the lead over Miller. Again, these were the 2 fastest swimmers. Miller was within 11 seconds of Hupp. Obviously, she's going to be a lot closer here. Hupp, the looking to be the 3-time champion, the defending 2-time champion of this event. She's setting the tone here for the preliminaries. Hupp will wrap around here for the final time. And it is the final lap, and she is commanding this lead. Hupp. She will come to the end, and she will win Heat 6 and be the fastest time here in New York. In second will be Molly Miller. In third looks to be Mikulski. In fourth is Redding. In fifth is Babarski. And the rest of them will finish out here, the final three swimmers. In sixth will be Sarah Wolf. I believe seventh is Taguba, and in eighth is Morgan Williams. So all these swimmers, in fact, beating their qualification times, with the exception of Taguba. So I would say a pretty solid time. And actually, I apologize, Morgan Williams as well didn't beat her time. But a big, big win for Megan Hupp. She continues to dominate in this 500-yard freestyle. So now we head to men's. For the men's 500-yard freestyle, this is event 6. There will be a new winner in this event, as last year's defending winner, obviously graduating. So this should be relatively interesting here in the MAC. No lane 1 here in this event. You'll have 6 lanes. James Butcher in lane 2 of FDU. You have Brian Brown of Stevenson, the sophomore, in lane 3. Dan Mack in lane 4, the sophomore out of Widener. Blaze Finn in lane 5 out of Lycoming. Andrew Johnson in lane 6 out of Kings. And Bryn Hindenmeyer in lane 7 out of Widener. So as they continue to come on through, right now it's a early lead as of the moment for Dan Mack. Actually, as of the moment, it's Blaze Finn of Lycoming with the lead. And it's hard to see that first lane, which makes it a little bit confusing. And as of the moment, Finn with the lead. In second, as of the moment, is Brown. In third sits Mack. In this heat 1, there are only 5 heats here in this men's preliminary for the 500-yard freestyle. I'd say a pretty solid start, if I'd say so, out of Finn. Finn, a 5:39.13. He was the second off of Mack, who set the fastest time of this heat 1 bunch. Mack's time was a 5:38.66, but right now he sits in third. They work now for halfway. It is still Finn with the lead. You have Brown, who's putting some pressure on Finn, in second, and in third is Mack. I'll tell you what, Brown has picked up the pace. Brown looks to be almost neck and neck, to about a stroke and a half or less. So they touch the bottom of the pool, or the edge of the pool rather, and they'll flip back around. Looked like a very solid transition there for Finn, as his lead now has actually gotten a little bit bigger over Brown. They'll come for their 13th lap now. And they come back around again. But right now, Finn now who got ran down, is expanding the lead and is looking to continue what has been a dominant showing here. He was out to an early lead and hasn't been caught yet. Brown, who trailed a little bit behind in the early portion to Mac, has now pulled far away. It's essentially a two-man's race. Mac is a far third, about a good 18 or 20 yards, well behind second and first. When they come around, there will be 3 more times up and down this pool lap-wise. Blaze Finn still with the lead. Brian Brown, he's trying to do what he can. He did make up a little bit ground there on that lap. He was a second faster. But here, this is a very solid lap. Final 2 times up and down the pool. Only 50 yards, now less than 50. About to be 25 for Finn to go. And I'll tell you what, he had a really solid lap. He was a full 4 seconds that time faster than Brown. Finn is going to cruise away with this one. Brown is now well far. We're talking about 12, 15 yards. Finn will win. Brown is going to come with an easy second. They're still just getting to the other 25 here on the other end of the pool. It looks to be Mac who will come in third when he gets to the end. In fourth would be Andrew Johnson. In fifth will be James Buchter. And in sixth will be Bryn Hindermeyer. So Hindermeyer having the slowest time of the group. But again, and I say this, they continue to beat their qualification times. Finn, a 5:10.36. Finn's time in what put him in his heat was a 5:39.13. That's a good 29 seconds. 5:10, in fact, would be good enough to move them up in a split. Now as we get ready for Heat 2 of the preliminaries for the men's 500 as they're underway. Daniel Moses of Lycoming, the sophomore in Heat 2. Owen Davis, the senior of Meze Cordia, in lane 2 rather, Daniel Moses in lane 1. Adam Throne, the junior out of Albright, in lane 3. Eli Mccabe in lane 4. Zach Holmes in lane 5. Will Gillespie in lane 6. Joshua Atkins in lane 7. And Joshua Simmons in lane 8. I'll tell you, this is where it gets exciting. It is neck and neck, and there's no clear leader as of the moment. It looks like it could be Mccabe who has the lead as of the second. They'll come back around, and right now it is indeed Mccabe who owns that early lead. But now, oh man, I'll tell you what, lanes 5 and 6 closed up there towards the end. Holmes and Gillespie as well. They're challenging, but again, they come down towards the far side of the pool, and Mccabe looks to have regained the lead. Tell you what, you give these men and women a lot of credit. It's hard to do the 500 yards and keep up the consistent pace, but we've seen it done today. Very few swimmers have not beaten their qualification times for the preliminaries here, and they've done a lot better jobs today here in this MAC Swimming Championships. And Mccabe continuing to pull out to a lead. It's neck and neck, about 3 swimmers or so for second. Gillespie looks to have it as of the moment. Mccabe barely. Gillespie now even challenging. I think Gillespie may have it. The flip around, no, Mccabe just keeping it over Gillespie by about 0.5 of a second or so. I'll tell you, these transitions, though, are very, very solid for Mccabe. He's very good at turning around and doing his pushing off on the ends of the pool because it gives him some pretty solid distance here in this freestyle. He's doing a good job, and now it looks like he's lost it as of the moment. Gillespie to the lead. But then Mccabe gets it right back on the transition. I'll tell you what, Mccabe is just much faster in transition, but Gillespie is just a faster swimmer down the pool, it seems. They're just over halfway here. They're now 300 yards in. And they'll have 200 yards more to go. Gillespie with the lead, just over Eli Mccabe. This is the kind of swimming you like to see, neck and neck. 4 swimmers all within the chance of winning in lanes 3 through 6. Right now in lane 6, as mentioned, Gillespie holds it. They came through for the 13th time and it has stretched it out a little bit. First through 4th, I mean, is as neck and neck as it can be. As right now, it's legitimately neck and neck for second. 3 swimmers, they're basically tapped the signal at the same time on the flip around. And I'll tell you, this lead starts to stretch out a little bit more for Gillespie, but it's going to be these final 4 laps up and down the pool that make the difference. It's about a 3-yard or so lead, now about 4 or 5. As they come to the end of the pool, Gillespie flips back around. In second as of the moment is Adam Throne. Gillespie continuing to stretch, Throne trying to challenge. It is still neck and neck for third between Mccabe and Holmes. Gillespie will have 2 more trips around. Gillespie doing a very good job. All he needs to do is survive 25 more yards with the lead, and he will set the fastest time here of the preliminaries in Heat 2. Gillespie through the middle of the pool. The crowd is cheering. The Lycoming fans are here today for sure. Gillespie will win it. In second will be Throne. Third will be Mccabe. I'll tell you what, that was the start of what you should expect. Very tight freestyle racing. You had 4 people all the way in until the end. Gillespie prevailed. But this is what you see, the best of swimming. Everyone neck and neck. And looking to make a factor here in the MAC championships. Gillespie with a 5:07.13. A very solid time for Gillespie. In fact, he beats his previous of the 5:25.22. We're underway here for Heat 3 of 5. In lane 1, Connor Pulaski. Lane 2, Tyler Higgins. Timmy Dando in lane 3. Sam Smith, lane 4. Tyler Wilkinson, lane 5. Brendan Mackey Wood in lane 6. Mason Kennedy in lane 7. And Connor Brought in lane 8. Widener with 3 swimmers here in this. And right now it is an early lead for a Widener swimmer at a Timmy Dando. Dando looks like he may have actually lost it here as they come down. It's 4 swimmers neck and neck and about 5 really close and into it. Oh, man, that's as close as it can get. But I believe Mason Kennedy has the lead as they transition around. But it looks like as they get to the other end, Timmy Dando gets it back. Again, we've seen a bunch of lead changes back and forth. Just a couple heats back. About 4 in the opening minutes. Timmy Dando fighting for it back and indeed does own the lead. In second right now is Brendan Mackey Wood, who was 5th a couple moments ago and has pushed his way up, and now looks like he may have the lead. Mackey Wood to the lead indeed. The flip around, oh, well, actually getting the feet down quicker was Dando. Dando looks to be ahead as of the moment, but him and Mackey Wood were essentially neck and neck, and they were neck and neck all the way to the under end of the pool. And oh, by the way, as the lead continues to change back and forth, oh, we're only at just about halfway. So indeed, they'll touch halfway here. Mackey Wood now to the lead. He'll own about a 2 or 3 stroke lead over Dando. Dando, again, you know, we talked about this in the last one when the battle was neck and neck. Dando looks to be better on the transitions off the end of the pool. But Mackey Wood is faster when they get to the swimming portion, when they're not gliding. Right now, though, it is a commanding lead for Mackey Wood. It's now about a 2 to 4 yard difference on a transition. I'll tell you what, again, you see it there, making up the ground is Dando. But Mackey Wood is just faster when they get into the motion portion of the swimming. You have to assume fatigue really has to deal with that as they complete the 13th lap and flip back around. The lead has expanded even more. New swimmer now in the second place, Tyler Wilkinson, trying to potentially challenge Brendan Mackey Wood for the lead. Dando, though, now he pulls back in the second. It's essentially a 3-swimmer race for the lead. And you can even potentially count it a 4th if momentum could be built for Sam Smith. Mackey Wood going back around. He will come around the pool, lap-wise 3 more times. But he's going to have to defend off Tyler Wilkinson. As here we go. We'll come across the middle of the pool. Mackey Wood and Wilkinson. It's about a 4-yard differential. A full line inside the pool in between. It is the final 2 laps. They're going to push as hard as they can. Making up some ground is Wilkinson, but does he have enough time? Yesterday we saw a stunner in where Hood knocked off FDU in the last strokes. But it looks to be right now Mackey Wood who will come away with it, and he indeed will. Mackey Wood takes first, Wilkinson second. It'll be Timmy Dando in third. In fourth will be Sam Smith. In fifth is Mason Kennedy. Sixth is Tyler Higgins. They finished the final 2 here. It's neck and neck for 7th and 8th. Let's see. It looks to be Connor Pulaski in 7th, and in 8th, Connor Brought. So that's heat 3 of 5, and Mackey Wood with the win. Mackey Wood with a 4:46.09. Wilkinson, again, getting second. It's a huge, huge victory for Mackey Wood. And again, He beat his time as well by a full 17 or so. So now, as we're underway for Heat 4 of 5, here are your swimmers. Nick Dibenedetto, the senior at FDU Forum. He's in lane 1. Nicholas Cansino, the junior out of Albright, in lane 2. Jason Winters, the freshman out of Meze Cordia, in lane 3. T. Culver, the junior out of Albright, in lane 4. Eric Bang, the sophomore out of FDU, in lane 5. Max Rydell, the senior out of Hood, in lane 6. Matthew Ball, the senior out of Hood, in lane 7. And Tim Setchler-Stone, the freshman, in lane 8. Setchler from Wilkes. Right now as they come through the opening 100. This may be the biggest lead we've seen here in the first 4 laps, but the question is, can it stay? Right now, as of the moment, Culver with the lead, and it's a commanding one. In lanes 2 through 6, it's essentially neck and neck. It looks to be, as of the moment, rydell for second. Let's see. Matter of fact, I think Eric Bang took it there on the transition back from the lap. And indeed, Bang just had it by a 1/10 of a second. But right now, I'll tell you what, this is a very, very fast T. Culver. Again, Albright, they're looking for their 8th championship in the last 9 years here in the MAC. And they continue to dominate not only as a unit, but come out here and bring out the stars of swimming. And this is going to be a very good time the way it's looking. We're talking about a half 25 yards, about 13 or so of a lead right now for Culver. Culver will touch the other end. Ready over halfway. We're about to get to the 300-yard mark when he touches the platform end of the pool in which they started from. And I'll tell you, we expected these to get exciting, but I'll tell you what, this is even more exciting when you see someone setting a pace like Culver is right now. He's on a pace to potentially not just destroy the fastest time, I believe right now is how that Amaki would, but he is on pace to potentially even work his way pretty highly in what was the 5 heats time. Flip back around, it is now at least an 18 to 20 yard lead. I tell you, he's putting out all the stops right now. Culver is something special, that's for sure. In lane 5, in second, is Eric Bang, but he's neck and neck with Max Rydell for second. The battle for seconds kind of dissipate a little bit in the aspect of the 2 other swimmers in lanes 2 and 3. Nicholas Cansino and Jason Winters, they battle for 4th and 5th as they have fallen back drastically. Also in lane 7, entering their battle, is Matthew Ball. But here we go. 2 more times around the pool. This is a very fast pace for T. Culver. Culver just 2 more times around, and unless something drastic happens, he's not losing this lead. He also may be the first to lap someone today, as on the far end, the freshman out of Wilkes, Tim Setchler-Stone, who right now sits in last, is potentially about to get lapped. But right now, it'll come to an end. Teague Culver will win it, a 4:41.27. That is a very fast pace, 7 seconds faster than his previous. In second will be Eric Bang. Rydell in third. Fourth is Cansino. Fifth is Ball. They finish out the rest. Sixth will be Winters. Seventh will be Dibenedetto. And eighth will be Setcher Stone. So, we will now head for Heat 5. T. Culver winning Heat 4. Heat 5, here's your lineup. Brandon Vaught out of Lycoming. Harry Huntsberger out of Albright, the sophomore in lane 2. Jake Booth in lane 3 as we are underway. Michael Mellison out of Arcadia in lane 4. He is the fastest, 4:43.61 in his preliminary time, but he's going to have to beat that as a 4:41 right now owns the lead. Daniel Logan, he is in lane 5. Christopher Souter in lane 6, the senior out of Kings. DJ Weiland in 7th. And in lane 8 is Chris Boucher. This is the final preliminary. Again, we have all the finals tonight here for this event. This is the final preliminary for the men's 500-yard freestyle. And right now, in lane 2, it's Huntsberger with the lead. Huntsberger with a pretty solid time. It's neck and neck between lanes 3 and 5 for second. It looks like potentially Mellison in second. Now Huntsberger getting ran down, but he still owns the lead. And actually there, a very solid transition will give him a pretty nice lead as they head for lap 7. Closing in towards halfway. They'll have 2 more times up and down the pool to reach the 250 mark. Huntsberger, though, he is very fast, and he is commanding the lead for the moment. In second is Mellison. In third is Daniel Logan. Logan and Mellison, the 2 fastest times here of this Heat 5 of the preliminaries. And again, the defending champion of this event, obviously not here, and none of the returners have won this event, so there will be a new champion crowned in this event here tonight at 6 p.m. Let's flip back around, and I'll tell you what, this lead continues to expand for Huntsberger. Huntsberger, a 5:01.10. The time to beat is a 4:41, and right now he is well on that pace, and he has a pretty solid lead, if I'd say so, here for this Heat 5 over who's been fastest here in this event, Michael Mellison, who's a senior out of Arcadia. I'll tell you, this is the good swimming that we talk about, neck and neck. There's about 4 swimmers still in it. But as of the moment, Huntsberger continuing to own the lead here. Huntsberger looking very solid as they complete lap 15. I'll tell you, the fatigue, obviously, we talked about in those last couple of ones and how much of a factor it had, but I haven't seen any let up in Huntsberger. He hasn't lost any step in his stride. His lead is staying about the same, and it's been neck and neck for second. between Mellison and Daniel Logan. But other than that, as now they come to 3 to go. Let's see what happens. Huntsberger, he'll get the bell. 2 more times up and down this 25-yard pool. Let's see if Huntsberger can close it out. He'll hit the end. He has a pretty commanding lead. I don't think anyone's going to have a chance of catching him. If they do, it's going to need to be a miracle. Huntsberger, he had the third slowest time, make it 4th slowest time of this preliminary. But he will win here in Heat 5. So that is huge. In second is Mellison. In third, as mentioned, was Daniel Logan. 4th will be Souter. 5th will be Booth. 6th will be Wieland. 7th, Vaught. And 8th will be Boucher. And let's see, in fact, I'll tell you what, Huntsberger didn't get the fastest time of the preliminary, but he did win. I believe, if I'm 100% correct, T. Culver comes away with the fastest time here of the preliminaries. How about that in the run there of Heat 4? I believe Culver had a 4:42, the full second faster. So that will do it for the women's and men's 500-yard freestyle. And this is going to be an interesting finals tonight, obviously. So as we get ready now, it'll be the women's 200-yard IM. Here in Heat 1, it'll be Laura Bogert of Kings and 2 Albright swimmers, Jessica Zamora and Rachel Nye. The fastest time coming into this is Jessica Zamora. Rachel Nye with a 2:39.75, 2:39.43 for Zamora, a 2:41.49 for Bogert. So this should be an interesting battle here in the 200-yard IM. But right now, as of the moment, as they complete yard 50, it's neck and neck between Bogert and Zamora. Zamora sits out right in front for the moment. Bogert had a very solid transition, but now she's going to try to do what she can as they come through, and they'll roll back around. Let's see what they can do here. It's a very solid backstrokes. Very, very solid indeed. But Zamora, who looks very good in the backstroke, right now owns the lead. They'll now come through the next part. They'll have 75 more yards to go. Zamora will hit the end. They're still neck and neck for second. Oh, that was dead even on the other end of the pool. Zamora's lead pretty commanding. Looks like now taking second as of the moment is Rachel Nye. So the 2 Albright swimmers as of the moment in first and second. 50 yards to go. Jessica Zamora looking to set the fastest time here in Heat 1. While Rachel Nye barely in front for second. Zamora comes around. Now towards the center section of the pool, and it looks to be pretty well separated. Zamora, when she gets to the end, she will now touch, will win Heat 1. Second will be Rachel Nye. Third will be Laura Bogert. For Zamora, a 2:31.50. That beats her time by 8 seconds. Rachel Nye as well, 2:35. That beats it by 4. And Bogert beat her time as well at the 2:39. So both of these women improving, or actually all three of these women improving rather, in their times of qualification. And we'll head now for the second heat of the preliminaries. So now here for heat 2. It'll be Jillian Frennick, Jenna Frennick, two sisters, freshmen, Kate Sanborn of Hood, Allie Aspey, the senior, Elizabeth Gisselman, and again this is all lanes 1 through 5, Karina Armetta, Maddie Martin, and Brooke Schlott, rounding out your 8, all in order, closest to farthest in the pool in your view. Stay ready here. Try to come through the first 50 yards. It's neck and neck for the lead. 7, I think it's 6 swimmers, all close to each other. Actually, really all 8 are close to each other here. It looks like the leader, though, as of the moment, is the fastest time here in this heat. Allie Aspey. Aspey, again, 2:27.72 in her preliminary qualifying time. She looks to not only win this preliminary, but set the fastest time on the board for the moment. But she's getting ran down as the new leader will be Giselman. Gilzanen with the lead right now over Aspey. It's going to come very interesting here to the end. I'll tell you, it's neck and neck. It's going to become neck and neck, I'm telling you. You have 3 swimmers all within it. Giselman still with the lead. Just behind is Aspey. And in third place is Sanborn. I'll tell you what. It's going to be close. It looked like Aspey has it. And Aspey's in the lead. So Aspey's called Giselman. Aspey, she'll come back around. 25 more yards for the win in the fastest time. Didn't see what happened to Giselman, but she got caught from behind by Aspey. And Aspey flying away. No one has a chance. Will win after being down for most. Coming in second will be Sanborn. Giselman third. As they get the final numbers. Again, Aspey in first. Actually, it looks like they gave Sanborn second. Giselman they gave 5th. Not sure if that's 100% right unless she fell apart there towards the end. In third will be Schlott. 4th will be Armetta. Again, 5th Giselman. As we get ready now for Heat 3. So Aspey fought back at the end and won it. Heat 3 of 5. Here is your line as they come through the first 25 yards. Noel Peterson in lane 1 of Kings. Regina Mccarter, lane 2 of Albright. Kirsten Seeley of Kings in lane 3. Rachel Sampson in lane 4 of Arcadia. Mikulski in lane 5 of Meze Cordia. Taylor Byers in lane 6 of Arcadia. And you also have Molly Elspeth in lane 7 and Devin Kaiser in lane 8. Kaiser, a freshman. As they come through the first 100 yards. And this is as neck and neck as it can get. It looks like, as of the moment, Mikulski with the lead. They'll continue to come through. But Mikulski stretching the lead as of the moment. In second is Siwi. They'll flip back around. And it's 50 yards to go. But now going to the lead here is Siwi. The junior from Kings with the lead just barely. This is going to come to the end. It's going to be either Siwi or Mikulski. Siwi will win it. Mikulski second. Sampson in third. In fourth will be Byers. In fifth will be Elspeth. Sixth will be Mccarter. Seventh will be Peterson. And there was no lane 8, actually. Kaiser didn't get a time, so I think Kaiser was disqualified. Going to check on that. But Kaiser didn't get an official time, but Kaiser would be in 8th. So here go, heat 4-5. Siwi with the win. And we're underway. Marissa Kirkendall in lane 1. Gabby Hartney in lane 2. Abby Keating in lane 3. Allie Sell lane 4. Maylene Elder lane 5. Melanie Malam in lane 6. Kayleen Gardner in lane 7. And Cassidy Preste in lane 8. And right now an early lead is Maylene Elder. And it's neck and neck as they come through the backstroke for the lead. There's about 5 swimmers right in it all together. But you got to question who will come out victorious. As they get through the backstroke, they will reach that 100-yard mark halfway through. But as of the moment, now Malam with the lead. Malam just barely over Elder. In third looks to be Keating. As they continue through. But Malam, who set a good pace and ran down Elder, took the lead. And is stretching it, rightfully so. Look at this. Malam really setting a good pace. It'll be the final time for Malam. And there's going to be a lot of distance that will have to be ran down. In second now, moving up is Allie Sell. Sell, who set the fastest time, 2:14.34, is going to have to need a miracle to come back. But it looks to be with about a 12-yard distance. Melanie Malam will win. This is going to be close for second. Oh, that may have been Elder over Sell. We will see. Man, that was close. Sell gets it over Elder. So they get through the final times here. Milan with the win, Sell in second, Elder third. You have Keating fourth, Gardner fifth, Hartney sixth, Preste seventh, and also Kirkendall in eighth. So here we go. It'll be Heat 5. In this heat, Jill Bujanowski, the swimmer to look for, the defending champion of this women's 200-yard IM. Bujanowski, a junior out of Widener. A 2:10.68 was her qualification time. And right now she is barely trailing to Hollenbach, as Hollenbach looks to have the lead just barely by inches as they transition through the first 50. But on the backstroke here, Bujanowski looking to get it back. Nope, now they trade back and forth. Hollenbach back to the lead. This is going to be an interesting final 100 yards. It's a two-man race essentially for the lead. It's pretty spread out from about maybe third on. Bujanowski trailing, and right now Hollenbach with the lead. But this is the fastest part for Bujanowski. This is where it gets interesting. Bujanowski, very good when it comes to the final two parts of this 200 IM. She's a closer for a reason and knows how to get it done. As they come through, Hollenbach still with the lead. Stretched it just a little bit that time. Here we get ready for the end. Bujanowski will try to chase him down here. She's made up some ground. The question is, does she have enough time to catch? It looks like Hollenbach may have this one in the bag as they transition over for the final time. Hollenbach, oh, a good transition. This is what she needed. And in Heat 5, Kaylee Hollenbach will win Heat 5. In second will be Bujanowski. Oh, this is going to be neck and neck for third. Believe they're going to give third to Savage. We had two disqualifications as well. Well, maybe not. Gave official times. But I'll tell you what, it was a good showing from Hollenbach and Bujanowski as you look at the order. Hollenbach first, Bujanowski second, Savage third, Weatherby fourth, Kramer fifth, and Ricky in sixth. And then Alderman seventh, and Pham in eighth. So now we go to the men's 200 IM. We'll have 6 people in the pool here. As they are underway. Lane 1, and by the way, we'll have 4 heats in this one. Andrew Besman, Dan Mccabe in lane 2. Michael Pakasison in lane 3. Cameron Aspey in lane 4. Sean Berg lane 5. Brian Lockhart lane 6. And Dalton Fink in lane 7. As they head through the backstroke, an early lead right now for Pakasison. Pakasison right now looking strong. the senior out of Lycoming ran a 2:17.21. It was the third fastest time. And it was only about a second off, actually less than a second off. And really those top 3 times as of the moment showing. In lane 6, you have Brian Lockhart, who was also within that range. There was 4 people in that 2:17 to 2:16 range that owned second. So this should be interesting because it's any man's race. The slowest time is a 2:22 out of Besman, who's in lane 1. Everyone else is relatively inside that 2:20 mark. And it shows that it can be anyone's race as they head around for the final time. 2 more laps. It's going to come down to 2 people. It'll be either Pakistan or Lockhart. Lockhart is pushing. Lockhart may have the lead. It's going to come down to the end. Who will win it? Actually, you know what? How about it's not going to be either of them? You couldn't really see lane 1 on your screen. But how about this one? It's actually Besman who wins it. I'll tell you, yeah, if everyone's standing out over the lane, it's hard to see lane 1. A 2:07.8. Besman wins. Pakistan in second. Third is Lockhart. Fourth is Berg. And I believe fifth will be Aspie. Man, I'll tell you what, we didn't even see him because, again, how crowded it is down there. Only seeing the entryway. So that's a big win there for the Hood freshman, setting the tone, and he, again, destroyed his qualification time as we are now into Heat 2 of the prelims. Chris Boxter in lane 1, John Luxick in lane 2, Tyler Sansom lane 3, Bryce Grosshart lane 4, Ricky Averill in lane 5, Colin Naturale in lane 6, Justin Alloway in lane 7, and Cameron Hilliard in lane 8. We'll watch especially for lane 1 this time. But right now the early lead is for Grosshart. Grosshart doing a very good job here on the backstroke. It's a pretty solidly commanded lead. Doing a very good job. But these final 2 parts is where it becomes hard to make a lead. But Grosshart, well, he has the fastest here of this set, 2 minutes 38 seconds. The slowest is a 2:15.54 from Hilliard in qualification aspects. But right now it is pure dominance. It's neck and neck for second as well. Sansom and Averill, they're battling. So those are 3 of the swimmers that you expected to be neck and neck here in Heat 2. We'll get to the end of the pool and 25 yards to decide it. But Grosshart looks like he will win this with ease. And he will. So Grosshart first. Sampson second. Third is Averill. We get ready for the rest. Now it's starting to come on the board. I believe fourth is Luxick. Fifth is Boxter. Sixth is Naturale. 7th is Alloway. And 8th is Hilliard. So now for Heat 3. In lane 1, Dom Buridelli. Lane 2, Curtis Platil. Lane 3, Trey Harloff. Lane 4, Andrew Giovanni. Lane 5, Christopher Late. Lane 6, Joseph Giuliano. Lane 7, Kyle Markin. And lane 8, Sadiq Sistrunk. Again, this is Heat 3 of 4, and I'll tell you what, this one was even closer than what the start of last heat was before there was a clear winner decided. And as they head through the backstroke, I'll tell you, it's neck and neck. You can't even tell who's leading this one right now. It's all a battle between lanes 2 and 6. It looks like we finally have a clear leader. And Giuliano right now with the lead. Giuliano flipping back around. 150 yards plus to go. But he's being ran down by lane 5. And that is Late. Giuliano lost it, I'm pretty sure, to Late. But Late lost it too, as Giovanni's in the lead. So how about that? 3 lead changes in a matter of a lap. Giovanni's flying now. Let's see if Late can catch him. I don't think he'll have enough time. 25 yards to go for Giovanni. Giovanni will win it. In second will be Late. Third will be Giuliano, who had the lead for the first 100 yards. In fourth will be Harloff. In fifth will be Morkin. In sixth looks to be, actually they have to fix, they have 2 apes up on the board. They got it fixed. In sixth will be Platil. Seventh, Sistrunk. And eighth, Buridelli. So now we head to the final heat here of the 200-yard IM. The next one, it's probably going to be the most exciting event here at the preliminaries, because next event is the women's and men's 50-yard freestyle. Talking about close, competitive swimming. But first, let's cover this one. TJ Dalton, he's in lane 4. He is the 400-yard IM winner. He looks to claim his first 200 here today. But here in the preliminaries, he first wants to come away with the victory as they work on their first 50. But let's go over the lineup for you. Austin Lauer in lane 1. Sean Riddle, lane 2. Rice Hemaker in lane 3. TJ Dalton, lane 4. Zach Boulderant, lane 5. Daniel Parker, lane 6. Connor Feinauer, lane 7. Tyler Weatherby in lane 8. The slowest time of them all was a 2:13 by Weatherby. Right now, it's an early lead for Riddle. Riddle ran a 2:06.87. The fastest time was set by Dalton, which was the only one to break the 2-minute mark. A 1:54.88. That was off the MAC record by a full second. 1:53.58 by Ian E. Lloyd last year here in this event. As they get ready for the final 50. Dalton back out to the lead. And here we go. TJ Dalton. He wants this 200 IM badly. He wants to be in slot 4 going into the finals tonight. And he has a commanding lead. Dalton 15 plus yards, will win it. And we got to look for that time because that looks to be very solid. A 1:55.96, so he's actually slower than his preliminary time, but he still sets a very, very good time as we look at the official leaderboard. So a big, big victory here to end out the 200-yard IM for men's. Again, that was all 4 heats. And now we get ready for what I would say is one of the most exciting races, along with the 800-yard freestyle, which is the very long one, well, one of the longest ones. And now we have the women's 50-yard freestyle. Simple up and back, again, in this 25-yard pool. The fastest time here of all 8 heats is by Cassie Cotton. Cotton, you know, we kind of talked about yesterday as well with what she's done for Messiah. Cotton won this event back in 2017. She has a 24:31, the only one in the 24-second area. We're underway here. Julia Rustrone, Emily Dutweiler, and Kaylee Smeltzer. Again, they will touch once, and they will come back around. It is neck and neck. Only 3 in the pool. You see Ronstrom in lane 3, Detweiler in lane 4, Smeltzer in lane 5, and it looks to be Smeltzer who will win it. In second will be Rustrone. Detweiler will come in third. Smeltzer 27.66. That beats her time by a full 2 seconds of qualification. So let's get heat 2 for you. It'll be 6 swimmers: Emily Bove, Kate Bedson, Sophia Pascuzzo, Kate Duffy, Ellie Latchford, and Megan Witt. 27.94 is the fastest here by Sophia Pascuzzo, and they are underway here, about already 25 yards in. This is how quick this goes. And to me, it looks like right now at the moment, Bove is in the lead. But we'll see when they come back around. I mean, this is as neck and neck it gets. 7 swimmers all within it. Or 6 swimmers all within it. Who's going to be? Oh, that was close. It's going to be Pascuzzo. 27.57 for the victory. Oh, man, that was neck and neck. 27.67 in second, 4 with Duffy in third. In fourth, Latchford. And then in fifth, you have Bedsum and also Bove in eighth. So here's your heat 3. Alexis Morris, Katie Gingrich, Corrine Smith, Megan Steger, Emily Wolf, Juna Curry, Michaela Toad. Oh, I believe we have a disqualification there, of what I'm hearing. And also Nicole Floor in lane 8. Again, we're going to go in dead order because this is how fast this is. They'll get set. Oh, nope, we'll have them come back up. Take a deep breath. Now they'll get set. And they're underway. So let's see who will set the fastest time. Right now it looks to be lane 2. Gingrich had the lead, and man, this is neck and neck. I can't tell you right now. I think lane 8 has it. Indeed. Nicole Floor with the win. 26.91. That's the first 26 broken of the day. Floor takes first. It'll be Wolf in second, Smith in third, You have Curry fourth. Oh, actually, we have a tie for fourth. 2 27.52s. So how about that? A dead tie for fourth between Steger and Curry. So heat 4 of 8. Kenzie Meyer, Caitlin Welch, Katie Kemlin, Stephanie Tabakis were underway. Amatul Magara, Sam Cote, Jessica Ternzita, and Zoe Flager. So they're already 25 yards in. They'll come back around. And we'll see what will happen. I'll tell you, this is neck and neck. It looks like lane 2 as it has at the moment. And that would be Welch, and Welch wins it. So Welch first. Second is Meyer. So again, we go back here to the leaderboard. We'll have that all updated for you. And rounding out the top 3 will be Shemidlin. We head to Heat 5 now. So let's get that for you. Caroline Stang, Courtney Betsock, Rachel Bruns, Nicole Clemente, Abby Strennan, Ann Coleman, Emily Thrush, and also Natalie Wasico. We are underway now in Heat 5 of 8. Again, this is the most exciting part, I'd say, of the preliminaries and finals when it comes tonight. The crowd is cheering because this is the fastest pace you will see these swimmers go at probably all weekend long. Wingert set the record last year, and right now, oh man, that was a close finish. But lane 4, Clemente, comes away with the victory. What a job there by the senior out of Messiah. Clemente as well, when you look at it, 25.58. It's the first, I believe, 25.50 we've seen today. So Clemente putting a really good time. She was a 26.38 in her qualification. So we head to Heat 6. Colby Steen, Danielle Pong, Brianna Hand-Solomon, Brittany Pond, Sierra Schertler, McKenna Zeller, Erica Schell, and Melina Good. 2 more heats after this one. They have them set, and we're underway. Setting a very good pace. We're maybe 13 minutes behind schedule, but a really good start here to these women's 50-yard freestyle. Oh, and this is anyone's. I mean, this is as close as it gets. Who's it going to be? At the end, I thought it was going to be lane 6, but it's lane 3. Wow. Hand-Solomon got a hand in there to win it. Hand-Solomon, 25.13. That's new fastest. Zeller, second. Pond, third. Schertzer, fourth. Steen, fifth. Pong, sixth. Seventh is Shell. Good, eighth. Heat 7 now. Cassia Mccabe, Holly Hager, Claire Hamilton, Kaylin Augustine, Emily Decker, Sammy Murphy, Jules Burnett, and Haley Giannani. 25.06 was the fastest time of these prelims for the Heat 7 of 8. And we are underway here for Heat 7 of 8. Closing in already on the 25-yard mark. These times continue to get faster and faster. And I'll tell you, it's going to be one winner, but it's down to the end. 4 swimmers neck and neck. Oh, man, who was it? Man, that was close as can be. The first 24 broken of the day. And it's by Augustine. Augustine beat Decker by about a 1/10.5. Man, that looked a lot closer than a 1/10.5, but that's what it came down to. Mccabe third, Burnett fourth, Hamilton fifth, Murphy sixth, Hager seventh, and Giannani in eighth. So now this will send us to the final heat. The 8 fastest swimmers qualification-wise: Hannah Schrock, Claire Coe, Kara Zortman, Cassie Cotton, Madison McKay, Kate Bernauer, Lauren Griffith, and Jessica Rogers. Cotton again won this back in 2017. The record is 23:57 here in the MAC. Cotton would love to beat that. She has a 24:31 as her qualification time. They come back around from the 25-yard mark. Cotton with the lead. Cotton pushing forward. This is going to be a good time. This is going to be a very good time. Cotton will win it. 24:39. No, 24:30 rather. So she barely beat her qualification time. But Cotton comes off with the victory. McKay second, 24:92. In third, you'll have Zortman. Fourth, Griffith. And that will do it for Heat 8 of 8, which will set us up, obviously, for the finals tonight. So now we head to the final event here, the preliminaries this morning. I have a lot of action tonight here in York, Pennsylvania at 6 p.m. But obviously the energy level picked up from the women's is going to carry over here to the men's. Justin Lewis, Karen Hassard, John Coassier, Sammy Sherrard, and also Adam Mikulski in lanes 2 through 6 here as we are underway. Justin Lewis looks to be out to an early lead, but he's been ran down now. 25 yards now less. This is neck and neck. Men's 50-yard freestyle. Who will win the opening heat? And it gets closer and closer, but it'll be lane 2, Justin Lewis. Oh, actually, lane 3, rather. Karen Hassard. Lewis came fourth. Sharon second. In third was Quasier. Mentioned Lewis at fourth, fifth, Mikulski, and that will do it for those 5. We head to Heat 2 now. Nichols Dolan in lane 1, Jacob Westner in lane 2, Alex Schwartz in lane 3, Chase Osborne lane 4, Tom Montevidas in lane 5, Anthony Mosciati in lane 6, Stephen Kolokathias in lane 7, and Charlie Bezjak in lane 8. Fastest time, 24:10 in this men's Heat 2. We have 6 heats here in the prelim. And it looked like Wessner got out to an early lead, but I believe he lost it here. This is neck and neck. I mean, 8 swimmers are all in a bundle. This is going to come down here to the end. Let's see. I think it'll go to lane 3 indeed. Schwartz, the freshman, 23:43. Fastest in this men's 50-yard freestyle was set back by Ian A. Gaynor, 20:37 back in 2017. But a good win for Schwartz. Solid time, and we get ready now for Heat 3. So Heat 3 here, the prelims. Cameron King, Randall Diasis, Anthony Stamponi, Stephen Kratzer, Justin Berta, Kyle Kingsbury, Z Kafagi, and Caleb Beard. These 8 set. The fastest time here of this split of qualification was a 23:42 by Kratzer. And these guys are all neck and neck here in the first 25. It doesn't seem like at all in this 50-yard freestyle anyone gives an inch, and obviously you know it's a one transition up and down the pool. And this is going to come down right to the end. It's going to be lane 4, I believe. Kratzer on the victory. Second will be Berta. So you look back at your scoreboard here. Big win, Diasis third. Fourth is Stamponi. And you look at the rest. Tell you what, that was incredibly close. Now we head to Heat 4 of the prelims. So Heat 4, as you hear the fans of Albright cheering. David Welch, lane 1. James Martin, lane 2. Paolo Cortez, lane 3. Aiden Bergen, lane 4. Jared Byrne, lane 5. Hunter Page, lane 6. Danny Schlebov, lane 7 rather. And John Foley, lane 8. And we're underway. So this is as fast-paced as it gets. And this is the most exciting event of the weekend, along with that 800 relay. Coming to the end, it looks to be Bergen rather. So a big win for Bergen. Bergen comes away with the victory. In second was Byrne. Actually, Byrne came third. Page second. So a good top 3 there. Consistent in times. We head to Heat 5. So here is Heat 5. Brooks Anderson, Christione, Callan Jordan, Martin Bowden, Ridge Hagar, Logan Fuegel, Tyler Chamberlain, and Anthony Spanier. By the way, the defending champion of this event, Aaron Green, who has a 2047 qualification-wise, he is in the next heat. We're underway. 2 more heats left, and it is an early lead for lane 5 out of Ridge Hagar, but it all comes down to the back, and now it's clear as day. It's going to be neck and neck between lane 6 and 4, and at the end of it all, the winner will end up being Martin Bowden with the victory. Logan Flugel will come in second. Well, actually, you know what? Flugel, he gave 6-2. Oh, he was well up there. Second is Jordan. Third is Hagar. I'd say it was a fast time overall, but here we go. Heat 6, the final heat of the day. In this early morning session, your final race. Nick Martino, Joey Antelock, Mark Preedy, Aaron Green, Dan Weeks, Tristan Hyatt, Malik Williams, and AJ Cawley. Your 8 fastest swimmers relatively in this split. And we are underway. Aaron Green, the defending champion, is in the lead. Green is on another planet with his time. Green is pulling away. Green will come 10 yards, 5 yards. Green is going to win. 20, 55. That would break the NCAA D3 B cut record. The record was set by Gainer in 2017, 2037. The record also, Gainer set in the MAC individually, 20.08. But the defending champion on a plane of his own sets a great time to end it. But that'll do it here from the preliminaries. Well, if you really think about it, we still have the finals all tonight. The finals should be exciting. Again, all these events you saw today, the women's 500 and men's 500 yard freestyle, they will have their finals here tonight, as well as the men's and women's 200 yard IM, the men's and women's 50 yard freestyle, and I believe along with that, we should have two more events here tonight. In session 3, it's going to be the women's 200-yard free relay and the men's 200-yard free relay. So we'll see, here are the preliminaries, what would happen. I mean, to me, this sets a relatively solid tone going into tonight. Pretty solid action, I'd say so, here today. You know, you saw all these teams come out and perform to the top level. And again, very much similar to yesterday. You know, when you look at these qualification times, again, most of these guys came out, you know, yesterday in the finals of the relay events, and today here in the individual events, and most of them, well over 3/4, you know, beat their set times. So, you know, when I really do think about it, as we head into tonight, it's going to be interesting. You know, your defending champions are really trying to make a statement. You know, Aaron Green, for example, he really set the tempo there in that 50-yard freestyle. Another one to most certainly look for tonight. I mean, Jill Bolshanowski, you know, she lost to Hollenbeck there in Heat 5 of the prelims for the women's 200-yard IM. You know, she would love to come out with a victory after a tough second place. TJ Dalton is looking to win his first ever 200 IM. He had the 400-yard IM. And, you know, a lot of defending champions coming back tonight. Cassie Cotton as well. She won back in 2017 of the women's 50-yard freestyle. So it should be relatively interesting. Also, one more champion to mention, Megan Hupp, is the defending two-time women's 500-yard freestyle. But that will do it here from York, Pennsylvania, here at the York YMCA. Thank you for watching the MAC Swimming Championships here for event number 2, or I should say session number 2, here for the 2019 MAC Swimming Championships. We'll see you tonight at 6 p.m. for all the finals of these events you saw today, along with a couple more relays. I've been Tim Moore. We'll see you at 6 o'clock tonight.